Good.
Cheers. Woo. Toby, welcome.
Cheers, brother.
Last Us Money
Good
podcast.
to meet you.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure to be
Shit,
back
that's
in London town for the first time in a
delicious.
long time.
You say you're a bit scared of the town.
Mate, London terrifies me.
Mm.
I'm from Eastbourne.
Yeah.
Everyone, the average age is 95.
Really?
Yeah.
Quiet time.
Well, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but it's a lot quiet. Every time I come to London, I love it 'cause it's like see all the guys I see like twice
Yeah.
a year. But outside of that, it terrifies me, dude. Oh, I watched a guy get taken off his line bike on the way here.
That scares me
terrifying.
because I line bike a lot.
Yeah.
And when you line bike, you don't use a helmet
Nah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
To put a helmet on, you look like a bit of a dork,
Yeah.
but it's worth it.
Mate, I say it's worth it. It's probably more expensive than hiring a private driver at this point.
Yeah,
I think I've done 3 line bikes since I got here at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
you
cost me like 15 quid.
But you must buy the minutes. Surely someone's told you about the minutes. So I wasn't told for the whole first year of living here. You buy minutes on a line bike. You can buy £4 for 30 minutes or £6 for an hour.
What?
Yeah.
No, I was just getting charged by the time I
Yeah,
used
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's way more
I'm
expensive.
sat at a traffic light just like almost skimming my wallet up. Just
I literally, this is for everyone that's listening. The minutes change the game. You can pay £7 for an hour. You would
Can you?
normally pay it that way. It would be like 14, 20 quid
So I've just been mugged off hard.
by line bike.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And by Southern Rail on the way
Welcome
here.
back to
That was
London.
expensive. Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
London. No, I'm joking. I love London for the people. Like,
Yeah,
other
yeah.
than that, it scares the hell out of me. I don't know what it is.
A lot of people have said that to me. It like builds your.
Mate, it's just a lot.
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah, London, but I don't know. I don't spend enough time to have a proper opinion. But I come here for like events and stuff. And
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
of that,
I lived in Mauritius, also a small town for 6 years.
Mhm.
Small community coming to London, like huge change.
oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Too right. It's yeah.
Let me tell you the story of why I jumped at inviting you on the podcast when I
Mhm.
found you. Obviously, Diocese Monday, I've always tried to find like a revenue angle
Mhm.
to bring in some income. And one of my favorite things to do is like organize my trips and like plan the races. And I'm always the one booking the accommodation.
Mhm.
I'm always the one like looking at Airbnb, looking at how we're going to
Mhm.
get there, holiday, whether it's for the event or anything.
Yeah.
Came across your profile and I said to Lauren, my partner, I said, look, shit, someone's already doing it.
yeah. I might have jumped it for you.
Yeah, and I wanted to chat to you about it because that's so sick. It's such a cool idea. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, mate. It's sort of my years of passion and everything I've done in my 20s and stuff just completely envisioned into a business, which I think is
Everyone's dream.
It's everyone's dream.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd find that thing. And so it's called Active Explore. And I've been working on it for God knows how long at this point. And I mean, the idea initially came from, so I used to own a yoga brand. So I created like eco-conscious equipment, clothing, all that kind of stuff. And I started that in COVID. Went really well. We ended up getting bought out by a much larger brand who I shall not name, but they've been in the news a lot recently. And
For positive or negative?
well, it was negative because they were trying to bury us because I was a man in a space that very much wasn't welcome in that space, and it was a very weird thing to sort of navigate. But they gave me an offer, and at the time I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like we're gonna jump on that, and it's fine. And whilst I love doing it, it wasn't my true passion, and was what it was. Moved back into travel, and which is my absolute be all and end all.
So why? Like, where does that come from? Because travel's not your like standard passion. If that makes sense.
Well, I flunked college in a big way, and
Right.
I sort of, the police was floated at me, the army was floated at me, and my stepmom came to me and she went, "I've got a friend who works in recruitment for a school's travel company." She goes, "If you want to spend a year just working out what you got to do, why don't you go and work in France for a bit?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah,
So
sounds
in the November, I flew to Alpe d'Huez in France. Well, flew to Grenoble, went to Alpe d'Huez in France, and that became doing 13 seasons in different places in the world. Like I worked in Greece, Sardinia, Italy, France, New Zealand. Most recently went to Australia, of course.
Bondi boy, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm not a Bondi boy. That is our friend. I'm the opposite of a Bondi boy. I found them insufferable. Mate.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, from when I was 18 until COVID kicked off, I didn't really come home. And so that's why my passion for travel is the way it
Okay.
is. And
Yeah.
we got paid so badly when we were over there. I mean, my first season, I got £150 a month after
Wow.
accommodation and stuff was taken out. And you're like, that does two. Well, in London it does an hour, but
Yeah.
one line bike ride.
£8 a pint.
Yeah, mate. I got absolutely scarred on the way here.
How
It was
much is it
terrible.
back home?
Well, it's not too much different, but you won't pay over £7 for something.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas I bought like a IPA before I came here, and I was just like, it was £8.10. I
Yeah.
was like,
Crazy.
livid. Yeah, she didn't even flinch when she put the card machine open. Uh,
She asked for a tip.
yeah. She turns the 15% thing around. I'm like, get away from me. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it came from that. So like, it was just, yeah, my stepmom suggested this thing, and I didn't really come home. And when COVID kicked off, I needed something to sort of get me going. And this yoga brand, I went, you know, I know what I'm talking about. At the time, I was doing a lot of yoga for like personal rehabilitation, mental health kind of stuff, and it was really working for me, as well as helping towards like an old ski injury I had and whatever. And I went, let's give this a crack. Learn how to create items. We're having one part shipped from China, one to Portugal to be compressed into the final product to be brought to the UK to be printed and all that stuff. Eventually, I sold it to this company, and I moved back into travel again. And this instance came up when I was at this second company I was at. And an old friend of mine who I used to work with overseas got in touch with me, and she was being sued for like 46 grand by a bunch of
Wow.
her guys that had gone on a retreat with her to Bali. Long story short, she turned up, the accommodation had double booked her. They didn't have accommodation to go to. She had to rebook hotels herself, blah, blah, blah. And the long and short of it is one of the women on the trip happened to work in travel licensing,
Okay.
and she just took her to the cleaners, as did the other 11 women on that trip, and she ended up with 46 grand in like out through the
Wow.
courts. And she rang me asking for help, like, can you do anything about this? And I put two and two together and realized I could piece together everything I've done in my 20s and stuff with the last business I had. And there's a sort of thing there where people were missing the retreats, the cycling camps that people run.
Mm.
The amount of people running them illegally is wild.
Really?
Yeah. So anybody you see running a cycling camp, all these influencers running group trips, if they haven't done it, if they've done it themselves, it's illegal.
Oh, why?
Um,
Because
but
we're looking to do that.
yeah, it's fine. Well, you know who they're called now. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so we act as a facilitator for them, and they
Right.
white label our licenses. But the long and short of it is, in travel, if you are selling a group trip with more than one aspect within it, it becomes a package holiday. So EasyJet, TUI, all these Jet2, all
Mm.
these
Mm.
companies, flights or not, you've got to have a license,
Right.
and retreats and camps all come under the same
Right.
thing.
Okay.
And when usually a lot of the phone calls I have with hosts and stuff at the minute, and guys who do fitness retreats and camps, a lot of them are going, "Ah, I don't believe you on these calls." I'm like, okay, tell you what, take a week, do your own research, come back to me if you fancy it. Every single one of them's come back. Every single one has
When
come
they
back.
actually start reading the T's and C's of,
Yep.
I guess it happens when something goes wrong. That's when it really hits the fire.
And it rarely goes wrong,
Mm.
but when it does, I mean, this girl in instance, she is paying off that 46 and something grand debt. But that's not including all the court fees and everything.
So she ran a retreat,
Mhm.
for example,
Yeah,
and now
yoga
she's
retreat
getting
it was.
sued
Yeah,
for right.
because the package didn't go ahead as planned, and she had no
Right.
licenses and stuff in place.
Shit. Or insurances or
And I'll tell you what, that phone, I feel for her. She's running retreats with me now, and she's using the profit to pay off their debt.
wow.
But she gave me that sort of light bulb moment where I went, "Crap, this is that. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my thing."
Yeah.
And we've been going for what, a year now, I think it is. So we started trading in October last year, and I'll tell you what, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's
I'm in love with it, and you know, I've not paid myself yet, which is wild because of the lead times in travel.
mm,
But I wake up every day and I love it, and that tells me everything I
I
need to know.
envy you. Yeah. So I'll explain to you what we were trying to do and tell me if we would walk straight into the brick wall of shit.
Mm.
So we just wanted to take a cycle group to Palma, Mallorca.
Mhm.
And there is a group that would offer the stay, the hotel, the
Mm.
food, and then but we would organize the whole thing, and the people would pay us, we would pay them,
Yeah,
and then we would go for the cycle trip for 8 days.
yeah, it counts.
As what?
If you're selling it as a business, absolutely.
So we would be in the shit there.
100%. But
So
that's
and
what
we
I
wouldn't
can do
get
for you.
any insurance or anything from the people that would rent that
You
house
can,
from.
but it will cost you more than the profit you're going to make.
Right.
100%. So that's the thing that a lot of people just don't. It's a click that a lot of people just don't make, because you
Yeah.
go, oh, it's just a group of people going cycling. Yeah, but when there's multiple aspects from different suppliers being pieced together, that's called like a thing called travel package regulations. And I, you know, if I had a pound for every time I said those three words,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be richer than I am right now, let me
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
you. But that's what people don't realize. And the whole point of my business at the minute, we're not salesy, we are education, and
Yeah.
we get the word out, and the word is traveling fast.
No,
And
that's
it's
amazing.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, because I went onto your site and for me to type in the race and then get
Oh,
what
you got the live result stuff as well.
I
That's
was
another whole
like,
part of it, right?
yeah.
That's a new, yeah. So
For
that,
me, I'm like, this is perfect.
yeah,
Because also
yeah.
you catering towards us, I can see immediately because it's not like 5-star luxury and it's not, those people aren't paying you to be on the
Mm.
website, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So these are like 3-star, where you want to stay, cost efficient, at the start line, like
Mm-hmm.
all that type of thing. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was almost like a, oh, I could do that as well. After I got the,
right.
I learned about the
The,
retreats and camp thing, I went, why the hell can't you ever search for a hotel based on where the event actually is?
that,
Like you find yourself on ironman.com and then on booking.com trying to piece the two together and go, what's that street
yes,
called?
that's what I do every
And you're trying
day.
to read something and you're trying to read something in Croatian and you're
Yeah.
there like, well, I don't know where the hell I am. Whereas what I've done is we've built this system in the website where you can just type in the Ironman race you're going to,
Yes.
and it shows you T1, T2, and the finish line, and you can see how far your hotel is from it, and just book it based on that. And the search results that come up immediately are the cost-friendly, effective ones, rather than going, "Here's a $4 grand gaff for you
Yeah.
and your wife." You're like, "I
Yeah.
actually don't need that, so
Yeah. Yeah.
just give me the cheap one."
I
Yeah.
mean, are you hiring? Honestly,
Oh, mate, I hope to be soon. Yeah, I hope to be soon.
no, because that
It's
is literally like Lauren said to me, you should do that because we did the Ironman recently, Emilia Romagna in Italy.
oh, awesome. It's September, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, cool.
And we did it with a squad, because Dietos Monday, we have a bit of community and we had about 8 guys racing. We didn't do like where they paid us and
Mm,
like all that type of thing, but we all went together.
mm.
There were 3 of us that did the full and there were 6 or 5 that did the half.
Yeah.
But we like no one knew where to stay and
Mhm.
like I was trying to organize everyone and
In
like
a
where are we
WhatsApp
going to
group or something, right? As well.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also like who knows in Serbia like what anything's going on.
Mhm,
We get to the train station,
mhm.
disaster, like to get to where we're staying. It's an hour from the airport.
Yeah.
Some random Italian says, "Come in my van." So we
Mhm.
go in the
You
van
get
for like
charged through the teeth for it as
25
well.
euros each or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
So like there's such a gap for it.
yeah, yeah. And what I find baffling is, other than Nirvana, who Iron Man
Mm,
directly collaborate with, there isn't really anyone else doing it because it feels like a lot of work for not a lot in return.
yeah.
Whereas my whole thing is like I'm not financially driven in the slightest. Don't get me wrong; it's a lovely little side product of when these things start going well. But I'm not financially driven. I'm like passion driven, and that
Mm,
is just how I've always been through my 20s and everything else. And actually getting good deals for these people and someone using me twice a year or 10 times over the next 5, and the money coming from that is way more sort of, I guess I don't know what the right word is. It just feels great to be providing
rewarded.
something
Yeah.
really actually quite valuable to the community, because I know, especially now, the size that Iron Man is, and it is
Oh,
what it
it's
is.
fucking nuts.
But I mean, I've spoken to them very briefly about working with them, and the system that I've built doesn't exist.
Mm.
As in, Iron Man doesn't have the information that I have to build that system, and they got quite annoyed on a phone call, and it was very funny. And I left that phone call feeling pretty smug about myself, even when they didn't take the
It's nice to
partnership.
put a big boy in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's nice to be like the guys that do use me. I mean, we've run loads this summer, but we ran a run to Venice to Solo, and it was 36 athletes and their families. And I went out and hosted it myself, and it was the first trip that we had actually delivered as a company. So obviously, I just got back from Australia. I was like, right, I'm going to go on this myself,
Yeah.
and it went seamlessly. And
Mm.
everyone paid way less than, like, a few of the group, the guys from the Tri Club, decided to book their own stuff, paid more, transfers were late, and our lot, you know,
Are we going to
everything.
do a trip?
Yeah,
We're going to
we
do a
can
trip.
absolutely sort that out.
I
Yeah.
want to ask, what hurdles do you see the most? And I'll tell you why I ask. Because the first thing that I thought would be a hurdle
Mhm.
would be people think immediately they're going to pay a premium for your product.
No, opposite. So we get really beneficial rates on everything,
Why is that?
because we're a tour operator.
Okay.
So the most stark one, I think it was a few weeks ago, but a yoga retreat host had reached out to a venue and tried to book it, and she found me halfway through and didn't realize she hadn't any licensing, blah blah. She goes, "But I've already found this place. I really want to use it." And I said, "Give me a week. I'm going to reach out to them. I'll see what I can do." We got, I think it was 1,300 and something quid off what she'd been quoted, because we came from a tour operator email.
They just immediately think you might get more business for them.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And we offer to list them as a venue on our website,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff completely for free, where we aren't going to charge them to list their venue, because actually that's what's going to draw in people from Google, from ChatGPT, all this
Mm,
kind of
mm.
stuff. And if you reach out to a hotel or try to book it on booking.com, fine, but then I've got 6 different systems, or I can reach out directly and I can guarantee I'll get it 15% less. And that's where we make our money.
Yeah.
And I'll still do it cheaper.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that is the first thing when people immediately we have this like old school in heart that when
Hmm.
you speak to a tour operator, it's going to be more expensive. Because
Yep.
how do you make money
Yep.
if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That gap.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, you get the big like Booking.com and stuff. They are incredibly difficult to beat.
Well, the one thing about Booking.com is can pay later.
Yeah. Yeah. But I introduced that to mine a couple of months ago.
Okay.
I managed to. We worked it out, and I mean we've got just over 2.7 million hotels on our system.
Wow.
Which is a wild spreadsheet, by the way, if everyone will scroll through it. But
Just on Excel.
well, you can download it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
I did it once for a laugh just to see what it looked like, and it took like 3 hours to download
like,
it. It was wild. It
yeah,
was
okay.
ridiculous. But they're incredibly difficult to beat because they do all their own contracting and that kind of thing. I mean, I know for a fact they've got north of 3,500 developers, let alone the people doing the actual operations
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. And but when you bring it down to actually what you need, and the thing I've tried to focus on massively is that distance from T1 is our most booked thing, right? Because you want to drop your bike off
Yep.
and then just appear into the day and get
Yep.
on with your day. You want to get your bike back quickly as possible after your race and go out for a pint, and that is our most booked.
It's amazing how the stats show that, hey?
Mate, I've got some real interesting information that I
Well,
think Ironman would love if they just let me put my widget on their website.
well, I'll tell you what, in Serbia, the T1 was fucking 2 kilometers long.
Yeah.
It was the longest transition area I've ever seen.
One of my mates, Charlie, put a video up.
Was he's the one that went down?
Yeah, it went viral, didn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. And I saw that and I texted him. I was like, "What the fuck is
Dude,
this?"
Honestly, it was crazy.
Yeah. And I've just realised that like actually, if you pinpoint, and I'm really hoping that the booking system doesn't get loads of traction. Most people reach out to us because they're not sure because we're not Booking.com, and I'm very aware that's the thing that people do. I get
Right.
more contact forms than I do bookings through the actual live system.
Right.
I think people are unsure when you move away from something you're used to. It's like imagine going from Booking.com to Hotels.com. You're instantly suspicious of Hotels.com.
100%. Yeah.
Exactly. Whereas,
if it's not clean and efficient for the end user immediately, you're like, I'd rather just go back.
yeah. Did you have a little play on the booking and stuff? I mean,
On
it's not-
yours, yeah. Well, just where I was looking at when I typed in the race and I saw that
Comes
the
up straight
hotel.
away, yeah.
I was like, this is for me.
I'm very proud of it. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was quite a cool
No,
idea.
it's the fact that I haven't seen that before is why I looked at it and went,
Yeah.
I need to speak to this guy.
Yeah. But yeah,
Like-
we got it for was it Ironman, High Rocks, Challenge Family, and T100.
Yeah.
And we've done them all. And like I said, the coolest thing is we've had the call with Ironman Marketing, and they haven't got the geolocation data that we've got, which I collected manually, by the way.
I was going to say, so is it a skill set that they're missing that you have, or was it just?
I think they've not seen it as necessary. I think Ironman is one of those brands that will forever be sold out. It's
Dude.
never going to die because everyone goes, I'm going to do it. For example, I
Yeah.
mean, I think one of the best examples of that is like last year I did my first full distance Ironman. I did Challenge Roth. It is the most prestigious triathlon on the calendar, Ironman or not, and it is.
Is it an Ironman?
No, it's not an Ironman
Right.
event. It's a challenge event.
Right.
And it's the tits. But all of us who did it had to write my first iron distance triathlon in order for it to catch on social media. And that's how we got views. As in, we posted trials, we did all that stuff with
you
different
tested
captions.
it?
Yeah.
Right.
And anything that didn't have iron in it didn't hit.
I must say, my Ironman stuff's going further than.
Well, it will at the moment. It's like the High Rocks last year, right? Like when everyone started doing High Rocks last year, it's all you could get any traction on.
Yeah.
So
Keywords are important on Instagram. Yeah.
So Ironman is never going to die as a brand, mainly because it is what it is. They put on amazing events, bar some things that have gone wrong over the year, whatever it is. But
well, I'll tell you, Muscle Bay Ironman recently, 2 weeks ago, 2 people died in the swim.
Yeah, but that happened in Texas as well, right?
Yeah. 29. So
29
years old and 53. So I understand there was a 53-year-old that died when I did the Muscle Bay as well. And I mean, I say I can understand. You don't really know anything about the person or the underlying conditions. But when I heard the one guy was 29.
Was it cardiac?
We don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were both rushed to hospital, but Ironman are quite good at keeping it hush-hush.
I mean, in fact, was it Texas where the current was so strong the pros couldn't get out of the water? Was it something?
I'm not sure.
There was one of the American races, I think it was, where even the pros were struggling to fight the current.
Yeah.
And they were just dragging people into boats. And you're like, you look at it and you go, someone knew it was that bad.
Well, and then they cancelled that other one. There was that whole uproar. They cancelled in Swansea or something. and
Yeah,
the water was flat
yeah.
or
There was
whatever.
that dude on the beach. I
Yeah,
saw that video.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was like, "Look how great this is."
Yeah, yeah,
And so,
yeah,
but I remember seeing one of the comments, and this guy went, "I swam there. It's horrendous in there." Like, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
because you look at it, right? So, like, I'm from Eastbourne, and we live on a beautiful coastline.
Right.
I did the half Ironman, not Ironman, but half 70.3 distance that we've got there. The swim should have been cancelled. There was a very upset British triathlon guy on the beach with a clipboard. 39 people got dragged out, rescued
Wow.
on boats,
Wow.
and 100 and something just walked out the water because they were like, "Nah, bun this." I got chucked on top of a dude by a whitewash wave,
Wow.
right? And
That's bad because
yeah.
from what I get, the UK people are less of a swimmer than like South Africans.
Oh no, we're terrible
Yeah,
swimmers.
yeah,
All
yeah.
of us. We're
Mm,
terrible
mm.
swimmers. We can't. We will just endure it. But it's my least favorite sport. I love sport, but swimming can absolutely
I
do
hear
that.
that from all the people I'm speaking to, and that you
Yeah.
guys are all so keen to do the triathlon, but they like dread the swim.
Yeah, but there's nothing like it. But I think it's once you get out that swim,
It's a good
I
feeling.
once I clip into my bike, I'm like, "Oh, right, here we go. I'm cooking. I'm good to go." But in that water, I get in, and I'm like, I'm having a heart attack. I'm like, I had a moment. I had a moment on that 70.3 this summer, when I was in the water, and I was like, "This is me. This is it. This is me finished."
But sometimes it is it for some
Yeah,
people. That's what's crazy. Like the swim's
yeah.
so
It's happening a
short,
lot, man.
but it's like it's killing people. The swim of the Ironman is literally killing
But
people.
it's terrifying. But also, I think that's probably one of the things, socials, where it's being so diminished as like easy to do, or I'm going from 0 to X in 3 months, or whatever it is. It's dangerous, man. One of my
100%,
boys, Mal,
man.
he's just done it in Mal and Tar. They're two brothers, and they were like bodybuilder kind of guys,
Right.
and they've just done theirs 0 to 9 months, and they both smashed it out the water. But Mal said he got in the water and he had that tightness
Yeah.
and whatever
Yeah.
else, and then you take a second, hold onto a kayak, and then get on with it. And I commend those two boys because they switched from bodybuilding sort of style training to triathlon, and they hadn't swum, hadn't run, hadn't biked, and
Right.
I commend them for that. But I knew there was going to be something on the swim. They were both going to have, you get in that water and you get that shock, and it is that, or people around you, or whatever it is.
It's the hype that
Mate,
everything's high.
hmm,
You're running on this high.
I remember being stood in the water in Challenge Roth. My heart rate was 141 before the gun went off, and I'm stood there like, this is not all right. This is like my vaping heart rate.
It's so funny because I also have a high heart rate.
Yeah.
Generally, it runs high, and I wouldn't say 141, but like I would be nervous if I saw 141. It would rocket to 180 because I'd be so nervous. Why is it so high?
Yeah, mine's always freakishly low. My resting's like 43,
Yeah, same.
I think.
But my heart gets high. Race day,
Oh, it picks
adrenaline.
up.
But I struggle with anxiety, so my heart like has its dues to rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, that start line heart rate thing is wild. If you're not nervous enough already, and you can just feel your heart in
Well,
your
what
neck.
was your average heart rate for your swim of the Ironman, of your full distance?
Oh God, I'd be guessing.
Because mine would be like
Quite low, I
170.
think, actually. I
So
think
mine would stay high because I'd now be swimming.
really.
And I swim quite fast. So like I'll be moving and so it'll be high. And then for the whole race, my heart rate doesn't drop again. So I'm battling a high heart rate.
Really? Yeah, so I think for the swim for me, so I wasn't, man, I'd love to get a high heart rate in a swim. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how you
Swim
get a high heart rate in a swim. Yeah.
Trust me, come for a swim with me, stay on my toe, and we'll get it high.
I don't think I'm staying on your toes. I don't think that's happening. But I don't know if you see how short these levers are. I don't know if I'm going to get it. But I think on the bike, mine was like 150 something. I think for the whole time. I think I did a 540 bike, and my bike broke actually halfway through. That was horrendous. But yeah, I think when I hit that, High Rocks was a different game. I did Brisbane, and my heart rate was like average 183, which just is not normal for me at all.
Right.
But yeah, Ironman, it was like 140s, 150s. I would have stayed at.
Yeah. No, for Ironman, me too.
Yeah.
145.
Yeah.
We did exactly the same race. 11:17, 11:20.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So we were 3 minutes off.
Mm.
And my
now
bike.
I know what I've got to get.
Yeah. I was going for the sub 11, but those fucking transition distance was an extra 2 kilometers.
Yeah, I felt for you guys.
They were
Like my mate
nothing I
Charlie
could
was
do.
livid. Like, yeah, he was. I messaged him, and he was angry. Almost like angry.
And it was a good 28 degrees, but I don't
Yeah,
mind
like
the
a brutal
heat.
day out, man. It did.
Luckily, the run was under shade.
Mm.
But yeah, it's good events, all the training. But what you mentioned earlier is super important to note, that people are not understanding how difficult the races are because it's being shown as an easy to do by everyone on social media.
Yeah, it's a flex now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I learned to swim in October 2023. I did my half Ironman in Venice in the May, and then did my full in the July. I originally intended to do Barcelona, but I did it in July, and it was about a few months out. Zone 3 really pushed me to like go and do it, and you
Yeah,
can't pass up that opportunity. It was an absolutely amazing race.
sure.
But um, I had bike and run experience teeming out of me. Like, and I coached and stuff overseas. I've done trail marathons. I
So you
knew,
coached, eh?
yeah. Well, I say coach, like guided and stuff,
Right,
and
right.
all overseas. And so I had those. We were doing 350k weeks and stuff every week for 19, 20 weeks at a time. And so you naturally have that muscle memory.
Mm.
But I think the scary thing at the minute is these guys are really underestimating actually the physical effects of. You might feel fine at the time, but the long term effects of that can actually be quite gnarly. I mean, like yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's great to see people doing that rather than
So
just.
what side effects? Because I've suffered a bit post my Ironman.
Mm,
My gut is a mess.
yeah, gut's going to be sore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the main thing, I think I'm going to bring back to these two brothers that I know are really good friends with. They think they really struggle with was the carb intake, um, because you've got to eat like an absolute monster every
100%.
do
And
you
don't
know
get
what
me
I mean?
wrong, I loved it,
Mm.
but now I'm a mess.
No, you just ripped all the time, but you eat whatever you want. It's
Yeah,
class, man.
dude.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved my Ironman rig. It was class. It was great because I still had a bit of stockiness left on me from like when I used to just do
Yeah,
lifting and that.
yeah.
And then, yeah, when the Ironman stuff came in, I was doing like 19-hour training weeks. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just like, oh, like, was it one we were? You
Well,
know what I mean?
I laughed with Gregor because he was talking about how he's lost it now, and he was the photos from his high rocks like 5 weeks after the
Mm,
Ironman.
mm. Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
look as sharp as he did
Well,
on
he looked
Ironman
Scottish
race
as fuck,
day.
didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah. So yeah, but I mean, it happens, and I'm going into another big year, despite my gut issues. But I've got a
Mm.
big trail run. You mentioned that you did a bit of
Yeah,
trail
what are
running.
you doing?
I'm doing the 82k UTMB in Italy.
Hell yeah. That's
Um,
a course.
that's like
That's a course
I
as
want to
well.
do something that like scares me every year. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's Monte Rosa.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah.
But you know what I fucking struggled with? Finding accommodation.
Yeah.
I zooming into those little mountain towns, and
Nah,
I
no
found
chance.
one on booking.com, but like it's terrible. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'll come back to you on that. But yeah, that's my big one that's scaring me, like
Mm.
the big sort of race for the year.
That's class, man.
Yeah.
I like that. I
I'm
like that.
scared of it.
Oh no, I don't doubt you are. I would be as well.
Yeah.
That's anything UTMB wise that
Mm.
skims over the marathon distance is always going to be nuts.
Have
Do
you
know?
done something that distance?
Nah, no. So I've never done an ultra. I've
Okay.
just done. So I mean,
Neither have I. Never done a
yeah.
marathon.
Have you not?
My Ironman was 41.2.
Oh, you're a culprit of this. I'm surprised I'm
I
just in a
am a little
journey
bit.
video
I
yet.
am a little bit. There's
Yeah.
one coming. No, but we've done 2 half Iron. I've done triathlons over the last 3 years.
Mm.
But I am slightly addicted to that, like, what's more. I finished the Ironman, and I said to I got this immense sense of pride,
Mm.
and I was like super, because that scared me, and like that was something that I accomplished, and I was like, wow, that was crazy.
Mm.
But then 3 days later, I was like, right, what's bigger than that?
Yeah.
I don't know what is
No,
that.
no, but it is though. I mean, it's the dopamine, man.
Yeah.
Because do you remember when you come into the end of your Ironman block, how tired you are,
Oh,
libido's low, you don't want to eat, you don't want to train, you don't want to do fucking anything,
100%.
and then you all of a sudden you just get this absolute scoop of adrenaline as you fly to the event, as you do the event, and when you finish it, holy shit! If you could put that in a jar, you'd sell it for £1 million a go, right? Do you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? And then all of a sudden you've got that dip again.
Yeah.
And it's like the holiday blues, right? But the post race blues will obliterate you for 3 weeks, and then you find yourself credit card out, like, oh well,
Yeah.
here we go
Yeah,
again.
what's
Here
next?
we
Yeah.
go. I literally did it today. I booked a couple of races today, and I was just like,
Do you
It's-
think it's bad or good?
I think it's good to learn how to manage it. Like, personally, I'm someone who's always struggled with dopamine regulation. Like, I've always been a bit of a like a everyone's addicted to dopamine in
Yeah.
their own ways, but dopamine's always made me feel normal. Like, do you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
it's quite similar for a lot of people, but I think learning how to manage that, in particular when you're in the race and extreme race scene, that's very important, because you can have these enormous highs and then you find yourself for the rest of the year in these just absolute pitted out lows where you feel like a piece of shit and you're
Yeah.
not worth anything because you're not running 100k or something stupid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I genuinely think that's a big thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. And I'm finding myself in that slump. Not necessarily, I'm quite happy still,
Mm.
from like lack of a better word to use.
Mm.
But my gut has like been an issue, and like training, I almost feel bad that I'm not training as hard. Like I've got this like I'm hard on myself. So I'm like half training and feeling half average and trying
Hmm.
to get into my career a little bit more,
Hmm.
but like something's missing. And then when I sleep in, I'm like, why am I sleeping in? I should be like,
Yeah.
you're constantly playing this game in your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, it's a confusing game as well. Like I'm bad. I've actually got really good for it recently. I don't know what it is. But I've always been incredibly hard on myself in terms of if I wake up late, I'm a piece of crap.
Mm.
Like if I'm not training enough or I miss a session because something's busy,
Yeah.
then I get really down on myself. As of late, I've actually got really good at managing that in quite a big way. I think I've just accepted life is life and you sort of get on with it and whatever else. And actually, you miss one run session, you'll be just fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll be okay. And
People get addicted to those training peak green blocks, bro.
they do, and I don't.
Well, you know,
I
you,
don't know what it is. Like I don't know if it's a bit of cockiness on my side, but I've winged a lot of shit, and
yeah,
I look at it and I go, "I'll be just fine.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay as
But
long as
that's
you
a
don't take the
good like
piss."
mental aspect to have.
Yeah, but I've never been like that, and I think it's quite literally this last, I would say this year, almost like just as I got back from Australia in March, I would say was a real twist point for me where I
Yeah.
went, actually, this is quite good. Yeah, yeah.
That's super good. There's so many things I want to touch on there, but I just want to mention that the first thing I did in that 3 day with the credit card was try to sign up for the Norseman. I got into the ballot. Do you know the
I
Norseman?
got offered an awesome space.
What? This year?
Yeah. No, I'm not taking it.
Why?
Are you kidding me?
Why would did
I,
you?
I,
Why did you enter?
oh no, it wasn't that.
What do you mean?
I got offered it from an outside source,
Uh,
but I know I didn't take it. I knew I wouldn't do it justice.
is it
So
still available?
I've asked if I can do it the following year.
Is the ticket for this year available?
No, that's been handed out already.
So I entered because like that excites me.
Mm.
You know, I talk about what's one step bigger
What, on
than
the
the
end of
Iron
that
Man.
boat just stood there,
Oh, dude,
bro.
put me on the end of that
Talk like
boat.
everyone talks about aura. That's like it, isn't it? When you're still in the end of that boat, swim cap on,
Because
moving
I'm a
so fast.
swimmer.
Mm.
So I'm like
That's the bit that scared me the most. As in, like,
the
bike and
cold.
run, I know I'd just lock in and just get it done, but I would want to do it just if I was going to take a space in that race because I know how many people can do it and do it proper
Yeah.
justice.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Um,
So what do you mean by you can't do it justice?
this year I
Right.
can't do it justice.
You can't train for it properly. And
Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'd want to really give it the
Yeah.
tits. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to just rock up, do my best, have a
Yeah.
horrible
No,
time.
that makes
With
sense.
for a race as prestigious as that, with so few places
Yeah.
and so many people that are begging for them, I felt almost like it's the first time in my life I've gone, now I don't want to take that space, but I accepted that actually my swim isn't where it should be right now,
Yeah.
and if I took it, I
There's
wouldn't
a
only
long
be,
time until the race.
yeah, but I don't know,
I feel you. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't know,
It's a
yeah,
good call. Yeah.
but I figured this year, well, I'm just going to do my training. I've got my half and my full. I've got my goals for this year, and then if I can get another one next year, if I'm still in the same position with who offered it to me, then I'll look at doing it then
Can we go for a beer with that particular person?
potentially.
No, because my plan is to send them for a media card.
Oh, is it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And do like
Yes.
something for them with the
Yes. Okay.
podcast and whatever.
Mate,
That's my plan for next year.
mate, that'd be wild.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That'd be so sick.
Because that's the bucket list item
Yeah.
for me for sure.
Yeah. It's but like when I got offered Roth, and it's like, I mean, that sells out in 90 seconds, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, take it. I'll work it out. Norseman,
But
you look
yeah,
at
yeah.
you look at it and you go, oh.
You have to think about
that
it
might
lower.
might be pushing it a little bit.
Because there is literally nothing bigger in triathlon than that one.
No, that's it. That
Yeah,
is like
that is it. Yeah.
that is the elixir and the
Yeah.
one that everyone wants. And you see the guys that are doing it, and you're like, I know that I can do hard shit, but that is
Yeah.
to the point where actually I need to really respect it. And I think events like that are going to have to really protect what they are
Their
over
aura.
the next
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
of years because people.
It's gonna overrun.
But you don't want it to become like New York City Marathon where what was it fucking influencers are running first. You can't be dealing with that shit.
Yeah,
They'll all
yeah.
die in the water.
Yeah, no, exactly. You send an influencer.
You know what? Send them.
You need like proof of concept.
Yeah, that's fine.
Shit. But yeah, that's the one for me.
I mean, it is. I just can't imagine how it feels finishing that race.
Well,
The sense of accomplishment there is.
the only tough thing is that only the top 100 run up. That I would be devastated to go, and then you don't make the uphill.
Mhm.
Like that's quite tough.
Yeah. Well, of course, you climb a mountain.
But I want to climb the mountain because then you're only doing half the race if you don't make it to the top of the mountain.
Yeah. But it's why it's what it is, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
why it's got its name as it is because it is the gnarliest race on the planet,
Yeah.
and it is just I mean, outside of in triathlon,
Yeah, yeah.
not in anything else. But yeah, that is a bucket list one, but also one that terrifies me. The idea of jumping off that boat into what was it, 6 degree water?
Smile. It's
Jellyfish and
6 degree. No, no, no,
six
no,
or
no.
7 degrees, is it not?
Lower than that.
Is it
0,
lower?
1,
Is it
2.
really?
No, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
And regardless,
Yeah,
that's
six
the danger
degrees
zone
still.
right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You
I
gotta.
run my hand under a tap that's cold enough, I can pull it out in 3 seconds. You know
So
what
there's no ice baths
I
going
mean? No, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask you. So you spoke about being in a good place
Mm.
mentally over the last year. You are quite vocal online
Mhm.
about your previous struggles with mental health. I've had my own struggles, but I thought we would touch on it because I think
Yeah, of
two
course.
guys like us
Yeah.
speaking about it is important.
Mm.
I actually have a podcast loaded to come out about my 3-month block of chronic anxiety. But
Mhm.
so just talk me through sort of how you've overcome that sort of challenge.
Where do you want to start?
Well, how early does it go?
Um, a long way back, some of which I won't delve into because
Right.
that's child family stuff that I just don't really want to discuss.
Fine.
But I think so it all came to a head in like 2018. That's when I tried to take my life for the first time, and that
Right.
was pretty gnarly. I mean, I was living in Sardinia, man. Like, it was beautiful. I ran a bike center there. It was
This was when
lovely.
you were on your travels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, it just came to a head, man. Just came to a head. And looking back now, it doesn't even feel like it was my life at the time. Do you know what I mean? I can't relate to that man at all, boy, whatever I might have described myself as at that time. But
What came to a head? What do you mean by that?
oh, it just got too much. I think
What?
I disguised everything with. I mean, so I recently got diagnosed with like ADHD, or they're not sure if it's ADHD or ADHD.
Right.
And it's not the version you see on TikTok and Instagram nowadays where people are like, I just can't sit still. It's like the version of where you're like, actually, there's about 60 different things going on in my head. Did I annoy that person 3 weeks ago? Is that going to work for me? Am I right for? And it is just that constant questioning of yourself.
Yeah.
And when I say this year's been really good for me, it means I've found different ways to manage it. Do you know what I mean? I'm a different bloke this year. I mean, I've met someone this year, and I love her to bits. And
Amazing.
she, I've told her I wouldn't have wanted to meet you last year. I've been very straight with her about that, and I'm glad we met when we did, because actually she gets to meet this version of me where I've actually learned how to be who I am, and my family are grateful for the fact I am who I am nowadays. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So how do you control your ADHD? Like, do you have processes or are you just limiting certain things?
Yeah, limit certain things. Like the simplest one that I implemented was the 40-20 rule. I do 40 minutes of work or focus, 20 minutes of doing whatever the hell I want.
Every hour.
Yep.
Wow.
And I stick to it.
Well, that's a
I
lot.
literally have a stopwatch.
That's a lot of moving parts.
But it keeps me. So if I sit there and look, but don't get me wrong, there's occasionally a day where I have like a full blown lock in where I can almost feel it in my head, and I'll sit there and I'll get 6 hours of work done without moving from my computer other than go to the bathroom. Do you know what I mean? But the other days where you're a bit foggy and whatever else, avoiding caffeine as much. Like I'll have one coffee in the morning. If I have one of those days, I won't touch it again because it actually makes it worse. Um,
What do you mean by one of those days? The lock-in days?
no, the sort of foggy
Right, right,
days
right.
where I'll sit down. I'm like, where do I start? What do I do? And you can imagine running a business like mine where it's just me at the minute, and
It's
I get a
endless.
bit of outside help. There is endless moving parts. We've got just over 300 and something trips moving, and all of those trips have got minimum 4 aspects to them. And it's all in a system, but also I'm looking at it all going, right,
Yeah,
okay,
where do we start? Like,
yeah. But I've got it all
you've
very
got a
organized.
business where it's actually so many different
And
compartments.
each of those suppliers needs paying separately, and it's just me doing it. And I get a bit of help, like 2 or 3 days a week from outside help, which is lovely, very helpful, because actually she's really good at making sure that I keep everything where it should be. But yeah, little rules like that: avoiding caffeine, the good sleep, not going out of massive huge benders. Don't get me wrong, I love a beer, like absolutely love a beer, but I'm not going to be shy away from the fact that back in the day I was using it to make myself feel better and normal. So when that wasn't aspect of my life, that's when everything started coming to a head, because I was training for something quite serious. I was cycling around the outside of Sardinia in 6 days unsupported, averaging about 190k a day, and I was training for that, and I stopped drinking for it, and I didn't drink during the trip, and then it was 2 weeks after that I tried to do it. And my psychologist at the time actually said, I think it's because you stopped drinking.
That's so, like, everything's hitting me too fast because I want to speak about so many things.
It's a lot
Because,
though, right? It's a
yeah,
lot to take in. Sorry,
no,
but yeah.
because I went to a psychologist
Mm,
and basically the things were twirling in my head too fast. And what I did was then started to tick all the boxes. I stopped drinking coffee. I
hmm
stopped drinking. I started eating lean. I started sleeping
hmm
early. Teas,
hmm
ashwagandha. Like the list was just endless. But I was creating my whole life was run around the anxiety that
hmm
I was struggling with.
hmm Yep. And I actually found that the more I tried to manage it, the more anxious I got about it.
Exactly.
So if I used to take ashwagandha, and I actually found sometimes it made me not me anymore. So like I'm I am who I am. I'm very outspoken a lot of the time. I'm quite dry in my humor. I'm a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit, but I love that version of me, and as does my friends, and that's why they're my mates and stuff. When I was taking ashwagandha for a long time, it actually made me not that person. It almost felt like an
Like a
antidepressant.
numbing. Yeah.
And I stopped taking it. It's in a drawer at home, and I just stopped taking it. And actually removing the anxiety of I've got to take these pills this day. I've got to do X, Y, Z. When I remove that, I now keep my supplements that all make me feel good, like on the side. If I forget them, I forget them. Actually, I just walk past it. It doesn't matter. But um, I'll just move that pressure from myself.
Yeah.
And I think when I stopped hyperfixating on small things, it's the best change I ever made.
Yeah. It certainly helped me.
Yeah.
And I can picture that, not to probably your extent, but the circling of like your external voices in your head.
Mm.
It's unbelievable how the body and the brain can make you feel that
Oh
without
man, yeah.
control.
hmm
And I got experienced that during this time, and I just couldn't believe what was going on. In the moment, I wasn't thinking that way. I'm now looking down at it holistically and going, that's incredible that
Yeah.
what it was doing to my body. In the moment, I was just so scared.
hmm
I was like a scared little boy
hmm
that couldn't get out of this,
Yeah.
thinking I was going to go get depressed and go down that spiral. There was no way out because I was just overthinking, overthinking,
hmm
overthinking, and just fearing that the spiral was going to keep going down.
Yeah. And that's the terrifying thing is that when you know what that spiral feels like and you feel it coming again,
Yeah.
actually you try to do everything you can to revert it a little bit, but actually sometimes trying to do that makes it worse. And what I've realized and the way that I deal with it a lot of the time is I feel I had a bit of a big down day the other day. And quite literally all I needed was just a message from a couple of people that I really love and adore, and that made my day lighter
Mm,
immediately.
mm.
And it's quite literally little things like that. But it's funny, it's very hard to put into words actually what's fixed it because there's a million and one things over a very long time. But I've just recently, I mean, my anxiety is significantly lower. I rarely get it anymore. I find I get it way less when I work out a lot. Like that's a bit, I do 2 sessions a day at the minute.
100%. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't sweat small stuff. I mean, recently entering into a relationship, like it's I'm very adamant on the things where like if we have disagreements or whatever it is, I don't sweat small things.
Mm.
We're very honest and whatever it is. But if it's a small thing that actually, you know, it's not something serious, then let's have a quick chat. Let's work through it.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, you didn't like this. Great, we're done. We move on.
Yeah.
And it works beautifully.
Yeah, because relationships can be a big toll.
Hmm.
And what I've been saying with the anxiety that I struggled with, like sometimes there's an underlying thing that you need to change that you're not accepting sub subconsciously.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? There's something in your
100%.
life that you want to change. You
Mhm.
haven't noticed that you really, or you're not enjoying
Mhm.
like your job. You want to quit. You don't want to tell your
Yeah.
boss, or you want to end a relationship of 5 years.
Mhm.
Extremely difficult, going to hurt everyone. You know like all these underlying things that might not have come to fruition yet,
Yeah.
but it's triggering your nervous system.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I just stopped prioritizing the wrong things. Um I think I always felt the most normal and whatever in large social situations. Like I'm really good in large, particularly when drinking or out,
Well,
whatever
that's
it is.
interesting because a lot of people struggle from social anxiety.
No, so I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm quite literally the opposite. Like, and I think that's why I used to drink so much. I think it in bars and stuff. Like I am me. I'm outspoken. Like I talk in groups. I can walk up to anyone and talk to them. And actually, I realized that was probably a big root of the problem is that I was getting such a dopamine hit off that I just chased that and the entire time.
And then when you were alone,
Then when I was alone, you're like, but it's how so many people, so many guys and girls enter into that horrible cycle, right? Of just Fridays, Saturdays.
yeah, I
That's what
was
you
in
live
there.
for.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't want to be that guy. Like, And touching on the work thing, the guys that I worked for last year, I mean, they were just horrendous. Fucking, they're so unorganized. It's the worst people, just so sour, bitter, horrible guys. But they made me lose my love for an industry that I'm now in. And I found my love for it again.
Yeah.
And at the time, remember being on the phone to my dad, spiraling, and he's just like, "We're not doing this. Just quit. Just do it. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what happens."
But that's so hard for some people
Mm.
because paycheck, rent, like food on the table,
Yeah.
like a lot of people can't just quit their
No,
job.
no, you can't. And like, I count my blessings that um, essentially I sued them and got a bunch of money out of them that they owed me and
Oh,
whatever
that's
else.
nice.
And that's what I used to go to Australia. And essentially, I sold all the furniture in my flat. I sold my car to start the business. I moved out of the flat, and I used the money that I got off them to go to Oz and just reset and just make myself love travel again. Like, I was adamant I wasn't going to spend the winter in the UK and just lulling over what could have been or get another travel job. I was like, I want to go somewhere hot, sunny that I've not been to before, have the most amazing time, and remember why I love this industry. And I came back so fired up and a different bloke, and like the guy I am today, where I've come back just gone, you know what? Actually, it's all going to be all right,
Yeah.
regardless. There's always a little something you can do. There's always like a line you can work, just to make yourself feel better in the day to day. And that's been my entire aim. And now that I am really good day to day, I can now put my energy into other things, like finally trying to have a successful relationship, which I've always struggled with, making my business what it is, because I know I've genuinely got something really cool that a lot of people are going to use hopefully in the future. And everyone I speak to about it is actually like, fucking fair play. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's rare people do that,
First thing
because
I said.
I mean, it's that or an electrolyte brand, isn't it, at the moment? Let's be honest. But
Hold on. I've got a present for you. On
what,
that note,
what have you
this
got for me?
electrolyte business.
Oh, have you really?
This is a gift to you, Prime Night, Prime Day.
Have you?
I thought I would
What
interject
are
there. As
these?
you said, electrolytes. So this one helps you sleep. It's got like the
Ah,
magnesiums and the
do you know
GABA
I
and all
use
that
my
stuff.
last nighttime pills tonight.
Oh, there you
Last
go.
night as well. Yeah.
And then this one's like your electrolyte for the day.
Oh, that's mega. Thanks, man. I've
Yeah.
not heard of these ones.
Prime Self. So it's a South African brand, but they have launched recently on Amazon in the UK.
That's dope. We'll put those there because
Perfect. I just thought that was a great time to.
that's a great time
It's
to interject.
electrolyte brands, but like you said, they're
But it's
firing.
not from like a London influencer, though.
No.
Unlike every other electrolyte brand that I
Well,
see.
I'm
love
the
that.
London
We love
influencer
that. But yeah, man. So I try not to mull. I talk about it very honestly online, but I try not to mull over the previous me too much. Mainly because I know that I've completely combated it, and I'm very proud of myself to have done that.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you still take precautions? Do you still see your psychologist? And
no, I go to therapy every now and then, but
yeah,
only when I really feel it. I went like a few weeks ago for the first time. Um,
I
just to
found it so helpful. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, 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 I mean, they're amazing.
Yeah.
These guys can really give you the insight as to what, because
It's understanding what's happening.
100%,
Yeah.
and they don't know what's going in your head, but they can give you a good insight into what's going wrong. And you know, they are amazing people to be able to soundboard off, because it's not a family relation. It's not like sitting in the kitchen with your mum or whatever, and they're just like, "It's okay, darling, you're the best thing ever," and you're like, "No,
Yeah.
actually, I want this guy to tell me I'm a piece of shit for this, or you did this
Yeah.
wrong, or you're thinking this because you've got this complexity, or this happened in your childhood, so that's why you think like that." And that's what he does with me. And it's very rare that I go, but when I go, I come out feeling lighter and all that kind of stuff. But
I was super fearful at first when I went to
oh,
him because
naturally,
obviously,
yeah,
like, I had no idea about any of these things, you know. But afterwards, when he just explained what was happening in my head and like how I was thinking about things, it was so much better. Yeah. But I
it's
look up
amazing.
to you guys, man. Like the way you sold all your stuff, you know, you went away, you took that leap. Like that takes a lot from a person, especially that has had their
Mm,
adversity in the past.
yeah,
You know, speaking from someone who's kept it super standard, super vanilla,
mm,
stayed in the business that maybe is not the happiest in,
yeah,
and just done it because I am scared
mm-hmm.
of doing the alternative.
But the alternative is fucking scary, man.
But it seems like you say you having a fucking good time.
I am, and like I said to you, I think my biggest anxiety in the world has always been financial anxiety, and I've actually let that go in quite a big way, and I think that's probably a big reason as to my lightness in the way I am this last year, because actually, I realized I can sell my car that I worked really hard for. I
Mm.
can move out of my flat that I worked really hard for. I can sell all of the furniture in my flat, you know, right down to the bloody like coat hangers that I was selling on Facebook Marketplace. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
I can move to another country for 6 months just to get my light back in it from an industry that I do love and absolutely want to be in. And everything's going to be all right. You know, you swallow your pride a little bit. I've moved back into my parents at 31 years old. That's not sexy. But then also you go,
But it's
actually, who
fine.
gives a shit? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, the only people that are going to, opinions that I care about that are a partner, really, because if it's going to affect us ever being together and that's an issue, then,
Yeah.
you know, we find a way around it. It is what it is. But I've done it to give the business the best chance. And actually, the person I'm seeing at the minute is, she is fully of the mindset of, you know, I'm not money motivated either.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, when it works, it's going to be fucking lovely, isn't it? And I'm like, too right, it is. You can have a Defender.
100%. But I'll tell you something. As someone that's been an expat from his family for 8 years, it's a blessing to move in back with your parents at
Hmm.
31. You get to spend that little bit extra time with them that you
I tell
might
you.
never get again.
Yep.
Because if you get a partner and you move in with them,
Hmm.
that's gone.
Hmm.
Do you
Yep.
know what I mean? So like cherish that moment that you have with your
Yeah.
parents.
And I'll tell you what, as someone who moved out at 18, rarely came back and stuff, my mum loves having me under the roof again. My mum is, I mean, to give you a context,
It's an amazing opportunity. Yeah.
she's a psychic medium, so she's nuts, but we love it. But do you know what I mean? She's a 5'3" fairy. She's a gem. I love that. I love that woman so much. And then my stepdad's the most eclectic bloke. Like it's
Nice.
ridiculous. And I see my dad all the time, and it's really lovely. And you know, I've got this amazing relationship with my
Yeah.
family now, where I don't really feel like I had that before. Like a very weird childhood for me. I'm not going to dive into it, but I've got this amazing relationship with all of them now, where we're all so bloody close, and they
Yeah.
all know what I went through. And actually, their thing now is, you know, they're not actually worried about me anymore. And my mum's actually said this out loud, as is my dad and whatever else. And they go, "We're not worried about you anymore. We can see how you are day to day," and essentially like, good shit, well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm very proud of it. Um, and you know, the whole part of it where I talk about online and
Yeah. Yeah.
guys reach out to
But
me
it's
and want to talk.
important, yeah. You need to get the
Mm,
awareness out.
mhm,
It's tough. I've been holding off speaking about my thing for a long time, but
mm,
you know what helped me during that time was listening to things like that.
mm.
You know, making it less. So I always say anxiety is like saying Voldemort from
Yeah,
Hogwarts. Like,
yeah, yeah, I
how
like
dare
that.
you say his
That's
name? Like,
good. Yeah,
do
yeah,
you
I
know what I
like that.
mean?
Yeah.
Because it's given this like devil light. Like,
Hmm.
just bring it down a notch. You
Hmm.
know, let him sit next to you. Like he's
Yeah,
chilled. You know, he's gonna be all right.
yeah.
That's the way I sort of think about it.
Anxiety is temporary, man.
Mm.
Anxiety is temporary. I think. Um, Obviously, I don't know what the extent as to what sort of you go through day to day,
Mm.
but I've
No, I'm like you. I've passed. Like I
mm,
haven't had that physical symptoms
nice.
since the year and a half ago, and
Yeah,
it's not a coincidence that I changed my lifestyle and did better habits. And same like you, you know,
yeah,
I'd love a beer,
yeah,
but I don't go have the massive jaws anymore.
yeah.
Train every day, 100% helps.
Hmm.
I'm the type of guy that if I don't train, I'm like just operating here. But when you train, you just operate there,
Yeah,
and you're just like floating
you
a little
better.
bit easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%.
That's the thing. I'm sometimes having a bit of an off day. It's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I've got 2 sessions to do, and I'm putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. I'm like, you know what? What I need right now is to just go and
Yeah,
work out. I'll go and do my bike and my swim. I'll
changes the
sit at
game.
my desk, and I'm like, sweet, we've got quotes to do. Let's
Yeah,
bang them out. Do you know what I mean?
different
And
person. Yeah,
100%.
throw a sauna in there, and you look God.
A couple of 15-minute rounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So tell me, I can see we're coming to the end of the podcast here. Unfortunately, we could go. How quick did that go?
Mate, that went really fast.
Right. So I have to ask you, and this is great because we've had a good chat about, you know, training,
Mm.
mental health, travel. What would be your message to sort of our community for the people that might be in a tough space?
I think one of the big, like I said earlier, I think one of the biggest things that I really understated is sweated a lot of the small stuff, and it would take up so much capacity in my brain that actually it became the big stuff very fast. And everyone's sort of interpretation of what the small stuff is going to be different. So I'm not going to try and outline what those things are. It's physically impossible because everyone's got different ones. But I think the biggest change for me, and as someone who has quite literally gone from, you know, years in pain to trying to take their own life on 2 different occasions in 1 year, to now being in a place where, you know, I put myself online, I talk about that experience, I built a business that, you know, people are using to an enormous extent and people see great value in, even if they've not started using it yet. People now come to me for advice on I've got 3 guys that talk to me at the minute who are in that place that I was in a few years ago,
It's
and I am
incredible.
that call out for them, and I've never met them. And
Insane.
I think my biggest advice, and I say it to these guys all the time, is that if you would call someone out on it for it being a small thing and you're overthinking it, then consider it the same. And your life will become incredibly light on a day-to-day basis because, you know, some people will get upset, like a partner will get upset that you don't sweat the idea that you didn't wash the dishes. But the 3 hours of brain capacity that takes up as, fuck, I haven't washed the dishes, isn't worth where you are. So that would be my advice is don't sweat the small things, prioritize correctly, and make sure you've got the right people around you who won't make you sweat the small stuff.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
Well said. Thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure,
It
bro.
was a
Thank you for
pleasure.
inviting me.
Thank you.
Yeah.